Happy Thursday. Hope everybody's doing great. I'm doing wonderful. I forgot to put on the bald light. I got a light called bald light. It's true. It's a light that showcases the top of my head. This is how you lean into it, my friend. Look at that. Looks. So no bald? Bald. Isn't that great? You just love that. Modern bald technology. We're going to get to it. Thanks for being here. Really good to see everybody. I was a little bit tired today. I was prepping some things for you to show you, and we are going to get into it. First of all, I hope you have fun. I hope you are looking at all the things that you want to look at, right? This is delicate. And not looking at the things that you don't want to look at, okay? And in order to show you that, I'm just gonna set a tone here. Forgive me, I'm not quite ready. I believe this is it. I'm gonna call it Newsom because this should be it. And if I drag this over here, thanks for being here. We are going to, yeah. Is this, he's not, I don't hear him either, don't worry. Hang on, we'll get this going. Wait, now I hear him. He's just really loud.
Law firms, social brands that are the foundations of an orderly and civil society.
We'll let him go for a
He's
while.
calling for a sitting governor to be arrested for no other reason than to, in
Could
his
barely
own
hear
words,
that.
for getting elected. And we all know this Saturday, he's ordering our American heroes, the United States military, and forcing them to put on a vulgar display to celebrate his birthday.
Okay, you guys probably can't hear that very well. That's my guess. You're listening to Gavin Newsom explaining that what a horrible display is happening right now, and that this horrible display is the result of Donald Trump and the politics and the policy of Donald Trump. And this is the sitting governor of California, someone who would be sort of like wanting to keep his sort of people sort of maybe in line or in check or in whatever way you want to say it, right? And this is what you're seeing. Instead, you're seeing a wrestling match type war that has erupted on the main stage, that's overcome with this fog of normalcy, with this fog that this would make sense, that someone who is in charge of California, let's just say that they're in charge, and then that someone who's in charge of the country, let's just say the country's still open, and there's like this, there's a lot of wrestling chairs, wrestling furniture. There's a cage, then there's an iron dome, then inside the iron dome and the cage is the wall, and the wall is a symbolic sign of racism and patriarchy, and your kids are frogs, and all kinds of weird things are teeming from this, but they're teeming from this because they're supposed to. They'd be failing you if they weren't. It'd be a horrible government if this wasn't occurring, if it wasn't happening. So talk about some multitasking here. I'm going to go down here and hit audio gain real quick and normalize max peak to 0 is what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to hit M, and we're just going to re-export Newsom as on the fly with you guys as we're talking. And that should take about a second. So you have a guy that's setting the tone for a rumble. It's let's get ready to rumble. That's what Newsom's doing. And it's maybe you get that. Maybe this is even a boring topic to discuss this. But maybe what you don't get, even though you got those things, is that this is what everyone else gets. This is how everyone else sees it. Everyone sees the wrestling match as real the same way if you go into Wild Wings Cafe or Hooters or whatever the name of it is now, and you watch people argue over sports teams. You watch videos of fans that go nuts on each other, and you're watching the psychology, and you're wondering where and why is this coming from? Because you've been taught by society that everyone's rational. You've been taught that once you become an adult, something magical happens in you, and you're suddenly rational now. And you're suddenly sort of like Sorry, I'm getting distracted by some issues with some technical things. Are you guys saying video's choppy for me? If yes, the audio is clear, but I'm seeing the same. Okay, that could just be one person. But yeah, let me know if you do have trouble. It could have been that I was formulating this video, and that takes some stuff. Let's see if James did that right. Hang on a second. Where is the thing?
Threat. He's dictating what universities themselves can teach. He's targeting law firms and the judicial branch that are the foundations of an orderly and civil society. He's calling for a sitting governor to be arrested for no other reason than to, in his own words, for getting elected. And we all know this Saturday, he's ordering our American heroes, the United States military, and forcing them to put on a vulgar display to celebrate his birthday, just as other failed dictators have done in the past. Look, this isn't just about protests here in Los Angeles. When Donald Trump sought blanket authority to commandeer the National Guard, he made that order apply to every state in this nation. This is about all of us. This is about you. California may be first, but it clearly will not end here. Other states are next. Democracy is next. Democracy is under assault before our eyes. This moment we have feared has arrived. He's taking a wrecking ball to our founding fathers' historic project.
Guys, I'm sorry. Oh man, I'm having trouble today. I should not have streamed, huh? So the video's choppy, but it could be the stream. I don't know if you actually could see the Newsom video or if you're talking about the video being choppy or me being choppy. I understand. I think maybe some of you can't hear me at all. I think I'm unmuted now. Forgive me for being frustrated. I'm doing a horrible job. Maybe I should cancel the show. And that's more of like for you, not for me. I need to practice. I need to get back into this routine. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot if I'm muted. I got it. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I know, guys. I know. It's a rough world. You and me, you're stuck here on this channel. You're just like, dude, why do I watch this guy? I don't know. I'm not watching me. Did you see me watching me right now? What am I doing? I'm doing things. I'm doing things. Okay, so let's get back on track. Forgive me for the technical difficulties. Gavin Newsom is stirring the pot, right? He's not helping. He's not saying everyone calm down. None of that stuff, right? It's quite the opposite. It's quite divisive rhetoric for a
three co-equal branches of independent government. There are no longer any checks and balances. Congress is nowhere to be found. Speaker Johnson has completely abdicated that responsibility. The rule of law has increasingly been given way to the rule of Don. The founding fathers, they lived and died.
Okay, so you get it, right? This is 2 days ago. That was 2 days ago. And then this is like today. Do not touch it. Now, there's a lot to cover here. First of all, that's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of limbic action going on. Sparks are flying, neurons are flying. There's violence. There's people being surprised by violence, which honestly is kind of making me go down this road where I'm on what I actually want to talk about in the show. Is that there's surprises of violence. People are standing in front of cops, and then the cops are spraying them with fucking mace, and then they're like, why did you do? And other people are standing by going, why did you do that? That is so unfair. That's fascist. And the whole thing starts, and both sides are wearing masks, and they're yelling at each other, take off your fucking mask. And 3 years ago, we were like, put on your fucking mask. And now we're saying you can't have a mask and you can't do these things. And the entire thing is orchestrated, but it's I get that you get it, but I don't know if you get that not everyone gets it. I don't know if you fully understand that. And I think if we look back to ancient Rome, I think this starts to make more sense. I think that as you look into, this is going to sound weird, but as you embrace the beauty of what is happening, the beauty of what is happening right now, there is a scene in LA where anyone who feels like a nobody has a monthly opportunity, a weekly opportunity, a once in a presidential election opportunity. This is a ritual of exercise, of exorcism. This kind of fits into our demons theme, but of exorcism. And the entire thing needs to be beautiful, monumental, Californiae. It has to have a flavor to it in order for people to participate. It's going to look like a certain kind of view. And when you zoom out and you do the math, we have 400 arrests. That's not a lot. We have 330 federal arrests. So 330 ICE people round up 330 people. And then 400 people have been arrested because ICE round up those 330 people. So in exchange for 730 people, we've now deployed 5,000 people into a city to protect what we think are protecting the 23 businesses that have been looted and the millions of dollars in damages. But actually, they're just there to protect two federal buildings that are already built like Fort Knox. They're already built as for riots. They've been constructed for this purpose. Nationwide, 565 arrests now. It's spark gap. It's not something wrong. What if riots are an unnormalized pagan ritual? Unnormalized. Meaning that it used to be normal. It used to be normal, but it's not anymore. And I see that because of the LARPing that I see on both sides. I see that there is an event where you go to where what you see on the left is seared into the mind as what you see on the right. It's a more saturated event. You were there. I was there. I was there. I wore a gas mask. I had camera. I saw it all. I participated. I fought for those people that were taken. And all the storyline that you need is the same storyline that runs every crusade that's ever been born, which is, hey, this is exciting as fuck. It's like, hey, where are you going? Cling, cling, where are you going, Tom? I'm going on crusade. It's like, well, I'm just going to stay here and shovel some shit and sell pig shit on the open market. And you're going to go, where are you going? I'm going out to adventure. I'm going to pillage and rape anyone I see in the name of God. And you're just like, can I come? Can I come? And the question looks back and goes, I don't know, Tom. Can you? Boom, 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 right? Just Just built the entire ending to a Mel Gibson movie, didn't we? This build-up of things is actually building an entire civilization. That the limbic flavor that we have from these different events actually builds a smart city. And then when you go back to what was happening in Rome, you're looking at the exact same thing that's happening now, but not in a academic snooty way, not in a look how stupid they were or look how stupid we are now. It's none of those. It's look how limbically dedicated we are to a flavor, to the LARPing flavor of, I can't believe that I went downtown during the riots wearing a baseball. Think about it. I went downtown during the riots wearing a catcher's mask, and I was filming, and I got someone kick me with their jackboot. I can't believe this government. I can't fucking believe this government. And that this is a mutual symbiotic relationship. It's a parade. It's a marching through the streets. It's a parade, guys. It's a parade. And if you look past the sort of violence that I just showed you, I want you to see this is an ancient Roman parade right here. It's just a parade. And you can go. You can go to the parade. You can go and you're going to go to the pagan parade, which means you're probably going to wear a mask. You're probably going to wear a helmet. You're going to be shocked. And there's going to be a procession through the street. And everyone comes out to the procession, and you know what they do? They throw garbage at the procession. They throw shit at it. They bang shit up. They throw shit at it at the procession. And you know what the procession does? The procession's job is just, here's the dude, here's the centurion right here, and his job is just to walk through the procession. He's there. Look. And he's just helping everyone throw shit. Right? And then he decides, all right, that one gets a bead. You get a bead, right? It's a natural procession. And it's a natural procession that we can use to contextually see what it was like a long time ago. Because what it was like this is fucking Burning Man right here on the left. This is Burning Man. There's Burning Man. Not blocks with hammers. You'll see these two things are creating each other because this is how you build a city. You build a city on this. You don't tear it apart. This is how you build a city. Lupercalia, participants ran naked through the streets, whipping spectators, symbolizing purification and fertility. A lot of rape, by the way. A lot of rape. Saturnalia, week-long street celebrations featuring role reversals, public drunkenness, social disorder. Bacchanalia, secret night rituals involving ecstatic dancing, intoxication, and occasionally violent outbursts. Munera, gladiatorial games, ritualized combat resulting in injury or death viewed as offerings to God. You can't stop me. Fucking tear gas hit you in the fucking face. Parentalia, public mourning rituals, sometimes escalating into violent clashes due to heightened emotional tension. Rodney King. Right? This is all pagan ritual, and it's important. And you could spin this and say, well, this is the government doing it to us and making us, or you could just look at the limbic flavor of people in general. Looking at their limbic flavor, there are people that chose to go out in the street and choke for hours on tear gas because that's never happened to them before. And for the rest of their lives, whenever they see riot, they're going to remember when they were 25 or when they were 26 or when they were 38 or when they finally got off the chair at 50 or whatever it is. And they're going to have this limbic experience. It's a pilgrimage. It's a Mecca. It's a Hajj. And if we do not have a standardized religion in the country, one will be created for you. And it has. And it's the political parties. It has all the seasoning flavor that would be necessary to create a menstrual purge, a parade through the street, which is there to cleanse and make the city grow. that revolt is the engine of government, because every riot that you've ever known built the city of Rome, that Rome wasn't a city until the first riot struck, that they arrived, they engaged with the riot, and a life was formed. A civilization was formed before their very eyes, the civilization of Rome. So this is a necessity. It's not something that you fear, it's a necessity. In fact, I've told you about the Turtle Island and the emergence of the Northern armies long before anyone had ever even considered revolting or seceding from any kind of union in the Civil War. That for as far back as 30 years, New York was building a militia of drunkards who paraded through their streets in their new clothes and their new shoes with their new guns. Some of them got horses, by the way. This is really all you need. If you give away one Lamborghini, you're going to have 1 million people think, oh, that could be me. Same thing happens with this, that the country of the United States was founded on the idea of we need a riot. And this is what happened at Fort Sumter. This is literally what kicked it off. That a guy was sent down there to purposely make sure that his federal building was overthrown. It was one of the most peaceful overthrows that we've ever seen in military history. Did you know that? You probably didn't know that, because it needed to happen. This is required to happen. So much of this is covered in so much depth in early American history on this channel. I don't know if it's necessarily the best place to go into that now, but AP, Reuters themselves, New York Times was founded on their steps with the Gatling gun, the country's first Gatling gun. The country's first automated weapon was actually used on the New York Times steps at their founding, because this really is how you forge a country. You incite riots enough to build the infrastructure, and that infrastructure is built off really simple words. Someone should do something. Think of the children, and those people are fucking horrible. That all three of these things, those pedophiles, those evil fucking Luciferian pedophiles, are added again, is really all it takes to build Rome. And if you could remind people on a monthly basis through Saturnalia, through Lupercalia, through Parentalia, through Mundacalia, through fucking public rape, arson, failure, that all these rituals themselves would be reminding and invigorating the villagers all the time of how important it is that you need government, that every single person that is not at the riot is being given a reminder limbically that government needs to be here. So who is validating government the most? Is it you? Is it me? Is it them? I honestly don't know. Smart cities are creating the people's desire for self-accountability through cries for government accountability. This is something Yesenia brought up that I thought was a great stance. The idea that aren't riots building smart cities. And yes, they are. Yes, they are. But they're they're coming from a much deeper place, a much more honest place, because I think deep down, each of you and I want more accountability. I know, fucking talk about square. I am telling you that deep down, you have this desire for accountability. And I know this because you started insisting that government be accountable. You insisted that the pirates be accountable first because they had all your fucking gold. And you told yourself that I don't have to be accountable until the fucking pirates are accountable. And once they're accountable, then maybe we'll consider me being accountable. And this is how you put accountability in the room when you're not quite ready to own it, when you're not quite ready to touch it. And it's highly creative fantasy lying that you're pulling on yourself. Your prana economy is making you grow by asking for more accountability, and so you keep accepting a society by revolting against it that gives you a social security number, that gives you a cell phone number, that gives you a legal name on a birth certificate that no one else can have at that one particular place, that all these are weapons of accountability that you have unleashed on yourself, on yourself. But in order to unleash those on yourself, I'm talking to the group. I'm not talking to you, Susan, or you, Jane, or you, Bob. I'm talking to all of us collectively, that the plasma that exudes from our pores, the demons that are inside of our pores, are wanting more accountability because we are growing stronger. And we know that we keep collecting more power. And if we keep collecting this power and we do not have enough accountability, we're going to have a shit life. I know that some of you are like, this doesn't work. Yeah, it does, because you have kidneys, you have organs that give you biofeedback. Your symbiotic biofeedback is a message from the community and from the cerebellum, the ancient ancestors that tell you what's good and what's bad. And it's typically based on what works for you. So the self has to be nurtured inside of this kind of aquarium. And the only way you're going to nurture the self inside the aquarium is you're going to have to drop a few fucking cherry bombs in the water sometimes, because sometimes the fish stop moving. They find their little plastic castles, they crawl inside, then they get too fat and they can't come out. And they need something like Newsom, they need something like tear gas to wake them up again, even if it's their children, even if it's their great-grandchildren. And don't worry, because if anyone gets too successful, the first thing that will happen is their children will be born, and they will hatch out of the backs of their own parents' success, and their parents will marvel and wonder at the punk rock scene, or the complete tangential growth which separates who their parents were simply so they could be themselves. That all these processes look completely fucked up, and they only look completely fucked up because they're so beautifully expansive. They're violent and expansive, and they look like this. Guys, we want personal accountability, so we demand government accountability. And what government does is says, oh, well, we will give you government enforced accountability. And then we're like, that's not what I meant. We meant for you to be accountable, not for you to make us accountable. And here we are. We've created the trap on ourselves. We placed ourselves into that very same chain that we call silk neckties, that we call cubicles, that we call houses and boxes, that we call parking spaces, that we call lots, that we call all the little cells that we create, because we are cells after all. So don't worry about it. Enjoy the flavor of this, guys. You know that the Justice Department has been here the entire time, basically enforcing a credit score long before we even had credit. That even when you look at someone's record, you notice that what happens in a court is this. Do you have a prior record? No? Then just get the fuck out. I don't even care what you did. What, did you shoot someone in the face? Look, have you ever shot anyone in the face? No, Your Honor. Well, get the fuck out. That's basically our justice system in 3 seconds, okay? If you do something again, the court's interested. If you do something again, the court's interested. They're like, okay, now you and I want to dance because you are serious. You want a serious relationship with me, says the Justice Department. And the Justice Department says, I will give it to you because I can survive if I do. And the Justice Department gives you what you do not have yourself, because society has told you your ego is not worthy of such things. And if you develop enough ego, you will stay out of the courts because you will constantly build your own credit score. You will build your own society's credit score, because that's really all that happens when a cop pulls you over and he says you don't have a registration sticker. What he's really doing is saying your credit's too low, fucker. Your credit's too low. We don't want you on this street because your credit's too low. So the Justice Department is actually coming by and raising everyone's credit score up, wiping their nose for them, because we asked for this. We said, hey, can we do this? But can we frame it where we're rioting the whole time? Can we frame it where we are always the good guys, and where anyone who doesn't have this knows all the answers? So viruses don't exist, space never exists, nothing that's ever been happening by anyone that's ever done powerful could possibly exist. Because it's not just the viruses don't exist, it's because your own fucking DNA doesn't exist. And you end up with these rioters the whole time, and you're like, wait a minute, I thought we were just chanting in the street. And you're watching people like, no, we're fucking lobbing Molotov cocktails all over the place because we want to burn the whole fucking thing down. We want to burn the whole thing down. And this is not unnatural. This isn't even bad, guys. This is a sign of health. This is a sign of youth. This is a sign of existence. This is a sign that I am here and I want to take damage because I'm willing to go on a Hajj. I'm willing to go on a pilgrimage, even if it means I just have to go down to downtown LA. even if it means that we are possessed inside of our pores by these deeper desires for flavor, for continuity. We want to taste the aliveness that happens in these pagan rituals. Let's see if I want to get you further here because hang on a second. This. All right, go here. And you hear in the background, you piece of shit, you fascist, take your mask off, you fucking faker, you LARPer. And the whole time I'm wondering, are the cops yelling at the protesters that, or are the protesters yelling at the cops that? Because they're both LARPing. They're both doing the same. Guys, you know that Jeff Bezos has developed an electric car. Did you know that? Probably haven't heard a lot about it. It's like a kit car. It's like a... sort of like a module, and you add your own modules to it. No one's fucking said a word about it. It's not on the news. It's not on fire. It's not being heralded as the biggest piece of shit ever seen. It's not considered the worst piece of shit ever seen. You haven't heard a fucking word about it. You haven't heard one person say a fucking word about it because the guy's just busy. He's just busy. Building clocks underneath the ground, taking Katy Perry up, making her go woo, and building electric cars. And he's probably building these cars in the same reason why he built his fleet. It's like, why not? Why would I not? Why would I not do that? And you know what? The difference is you don't fucking hear him. You don't hear words from him. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't need you to like him. He doesn't need you to hate him. He really doesn't fucking care. He has more money than is necessary. And he still wants more. He's on a different trajectory. I'm not saying he's good. I'm not saying he's moral. I'm saying that this is probably what it more looks like if someone's in charge of something. It just probably looks like that. And it probably has a more realism to it, which makes it more mundane and more boring. And the more mundane and more boring it is, the more your city's going to suffer because the people that need you to install personal accountability aren't getting enough input. You need to have a war. You need to have a reason to riot or not riot, to thrive even. You need a reason to poke fun at the other side and embrace this dichotomy of you suck, which makes me better, and you suck, which makes me better. This is a piston. This is really how the engine grows, you know? Like it's only gross because you're inside the pistons and it's moving around. That's really the only reason why it's gross. How would you do it? Ask yourself. How would you do it? How would you build a society? Would you try honesty? Would that be your goal? I'm going to just try a bunch of honesty. I'm going to create money that has an open checkbook ledger. You know what's going to happen if you do that? People are going to say that you're trying to enslave them. That's what they're going to say. You're like, but I showed you the open source code, which shows how the encryption works. That shows you how the blockchain builds on the ledger of each other. So there's nothing in a lockbox for me. So all the truth is here. Yeah, but you didn't sign it. No one signed it. So because it's anonymous, it means you're trying to enslave me. And you're just like, so we can't even do anything nice for each other. No, you can't do something nice. You can't have a rich person do something nice for society. You can't have a bunch of rich robber barons all of a sudden decide that they have enough and they just feel better. And they're just like, hey, let's fucking make the world cool as shit. Let's just do that. Why don't we fucking kill the petrodollar? That'd be fun as fuck. Hey, Winston, are you up for killing the petrodollar? Oh my God, that sounds fun. We could go down in our own private history as the team that brought down the petrodollar. Why would that not be fun? Why does this sound so hard for people to believe? Why do we have to insist that it has to be some sort of Whitney Webb story where Epstein is like leaking underground skull fucking children? And it can't just be fucking Peter Thiel telling you, look, guys, it's Palantir because you guys want to be fucking held accountable. You're creating a society that wants to be smart, and honestly, a smart society is pretty fucking cool. Why the fuck not? Why would we not do that? Look at how people behave, and then you just pan the camera around. You just pan the camera around, and just watch how people behave. Not just any level. The top down to the bottom, the dopers to the non-dopers. Every single person has this deep desire for more public accountability because they keep stealing things. And as they're doing it, they're telling you and over again, it's because they're fucking fascists, or it's because they're evil, it's because there's that. And it's always built on this idea that it's not you, it's me. It's not me, it's you. And that this is just how we build society. It's how a spider builds a web. The whole time the web's like, basically, I'm here to fucking fuck with any innocent creature that tries to fly by. And I'm calling it a home. I'm calling it a matrix that's necessary for the deeper symbolism of life. And no, it's not. You're fucking setting fox traps. Is this any different than Cambodia? We're the good guys. We're the good guys. And I think it's like seven people a day die from a fucking landmine that we left 60 years ago that we still haven't decided, hey, why don't we fucking use some resources there? Why don't we fucking use our drones to find that shit? Because we're the good guys. That's why. So the good guys can't go around talking about how we left a bunch of fucking mines underground for 60 years. That would literally not be the good guys. Like, how are you even having a conversation about who the good guys are if this is where we're at, right? Like, it's just, it's not broken. You're watching what all of us do to find more limbic flavor, to slowly gain or step into this new kind of world. And this new kind of world requires things that we may not necessarily be used to, that we may not necessarily be in touch with yet. This is the prana economy I talk about. It's a secret underground desire that it's not that you can't know it. It's that most people don't. That's all. That's all. It's just that most people don't. And until people really do, you're going to need pagan rituals to exercise and possess a country every day. Every day. You want one party pulling people in and saying, now you're fans. And the exact same time, you want the other party spitting people out and saying, you can't trust me. It's over. It's not going to work out. This is how heart works. This is how Templo Mayor works. And you drag the sacrificial taxes up to the top of the pyramid, and you're either going to put it in the blue building because you're afraid of global warming, or you're going to put it in the red building because you're afraid of terrorism. And this is Amuraka. You could not get more LA than what I just said. You could not get more fucking Los Angeles than Azteca. Than this pumping engine that's built. And that pumping engine is so important that when 443 people get arrested nationwide, the country sets up an entire ritual between Newsom and Trump, and they send 6,000 troops in order to make this fire light, make it burn, set it off. Because we got a smart city to build. We got a civilization that's going to require more ice, more borders, more checkpoints, more reasons, because we do not have enough accountability yet. We don't. I think the moment we noticed we had enough accountability, no one would vote. Honestly. I think when you get there, no one would vote. Because you would realize, I don't want fucking new laws. There's 3 new laws every week. The federal codex is so long, I cannot even tell you how many pages it is. I'm not making that up. You can ask AI. Ask Google. I knew this before AI even came online. You could not find how many laws there are. You cannot find how many laws are codified because it's just too many. It is too many to count. It's too many to even put in one book. It's not even in one book. It's a collection of 3 different volumes. 3 completely different sets of record keeping, and they overlap because they don't want you to fucking see the bottom. Who is they? Us. Our accountability is built on our ability to refract and reflect the reflection of ourselves based on the shitty reflection that we place on each other, which is how we end up building this Babylon how we end up burying our ancestors, but still drinking from the same soil on top so we can enrich ourselves and decide which of these things we're going to place as firm, as the top of this pyramid. I get that society scares you. I get that a smart city scares you, I get that an AI sounds like a scary proposition, but it's been here the whole time. It's always been here. There is a call for the self to become accountable. It's a much more complex word than accountable. But we have required that of each other. We've required absolute perfection from everyone else while insisting on absolute mercy for ourselves alone. It's just what you do to swim. It's a kind of backstroke that you use. I think we're doing great. I think that it looks disturbing because there's so much progress. This is a tricky thing for people to get. But the more shame that you have, the higher up you are from the dystopian past where you were. That's why they call it dystopian. It feels horrible because of how far you've advanced. It's so difficult to understand unless you can really zoom out and compassionate yourself kind of outside the race. Like outside the endless race that's there. When you're no longer possessed by survival, you can look at the entire picture. And I think you see the prana economy more. You see this deeper desire we have to create our own accountability, but utilizing the parasitic nature of government to get it, to get it. Hang on a second. Yeah, I just want to get better at my buttons. Hope you're enjoying your day. I sure am. It's Thursday. And I hope everyone in LA is having a good time, man. Whether you're doing riots or not. And just embrace it all. If you get hit, maybe ask yourself why you're outside. I think abuse is wrong. But man, cops, they want to hit something. They want to hit something. It's why you become a cop. You're like, hey, you know what? I don't mind hitting things. I'll fucking be a cop. That's why they give you a leather vest. They give you a badge. They give you a stick. Guys, they give you a stick. It's a big stick. It's a big stick. And they give you a can of bear mace. Okay? What do you think is the most likely thing someone's going to do who's got a big stick and a can of bear mace? Right? Exact same thing a person's going to do wearing a catcher's helmet and a camera. He's going to look for something highly dilating to record the same way the cop's going to look for something to mace and beat with a stick. This is pretending. One of the most magical words you could use to prepare for something. And that's what Governor Newsom was doing. He's preparing for this. He's like, let's do this right, guys. All right, let's bring it in. I want a good, clean fight. All right. We're going to have MAGA in this corner. We've got blue in this corner. Let's go. Let's get this thing done. You know what I mean? That's right. All right, guys. Have yourself a beautiful day. Appreciate you being here. Hope you enjoyed the show. Sorry about technical difficulties, being late, but hope you're enjoying it all. Would love it if you check out my book, Black Eye Club. It's in stores now. Here it is. And you could buy it right now. It would help me out. I'm trying to rise in the charts there on Amazon, and could use your help. In fact, I think I'm at number 369 right now, which is pretty cool. So why don't you get your copy there? Also, check out our store. We have some new merchandise in the store, t-shirts, things like that. A lot of cool stuff. Hope you guys enjoying yourself. We'll see you tomorrow on James True Live. Take care.